name's Amanda Lindsay, and I'm the Teen Services Librarian at the Stonecrest Library. By the end of our time together, you would have a better understanding about library resources available to help your student. We'll be going through these resources by subject. The first subject is reading. Let me share my screen. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the DeKalb County Public Library site, and the website URL is dekalblibrary.org. And we're first going to look at our catalog. So to get to our catalog, on the right-hand side, you'll see a little button that says catalog. Okay, and then you'll type in the title that you're using. This is going to be just a brief overview of some unique things that a lot of people are not aware of that we can do with our catalog. You'll see there's a variety of little books that we are highlighting that changes quite frequently. Let's just look at a title, But Not Buddy. Talk about some stuff that I think would be helpful as a parent or a teacher to know what the catalog can do. Okay, so on the right-hand side, you can narrow your search by availability, available now, by the branch. So if you want to pick it up, say at the Covington location, you can click right there. No limit to just Covington, just show the items that are available at Covington. You can limit by the type of material, book, audio book, electronic resources, by subject, publication date, and so on. Okay, so let's look at the book. Again, you can look at availability here, see where it's located. It'll tell you what locations it is, what the status is, whether it's checked in, checked out, if it's on request, and so on. Again, it gives you a summary usually of the book. And again, as you scroll down the screen, it'll give you availability just like it did with that quick link. What I'd like to show is the first section here is Explore Summary about the author. So it'll give you information, again, of any summary of it, anything about the author that it has, and additional books by that author. If you scroll down and look at the next section, Suggestions and More, this is helpful for if you like a particular book. So if, say, you have a child that likes But Not Buddy, these are titles that are similar that we have in our catalog that they might try to see and like along that same type of book. It'll also give you authors here. Okay, so these are titles to the left and authors that are similar, right, similarly to Curtis Paul. Okay, and again, as you go down, it kind of gives you story elements, so you can kind of say, well, I really liked about that book. I wanted to be more African-American fiction, or I really like character-driven books, and it'll give you suggestions from there. And then as you go below, we have reader reviews through Goodreads, Lexile measure, which gives you the Lexile reading level of that particular book. So for But Not Buddy, it's 950. It gives you kind of the grade for accelerated readers. The other thing is sometimes as a parent, you're looking for books. Your child is reading, say, on the 400 to 500 level. So you want books and you want to know what we have at our location. You can go do the same thing, find a title, a children's title, scroll all the way to bottom. It'll give you the Lexile number to that, to that title, but you can change it. So I want to look at books that we have that are 400 to 500 in the library system. And it'll give you a carousel of books that are on that same Lexile measure. Okay, so you can kind of go scroll through and say, oh, that looks good. Again, you can click on it and it'll take you to the title entry in our catalog. Okay, so that's a brief overview of our catalog and looking for books in our catalog. But we have so much more finding books, especially for pleasure. Okay, so if you go to the e-library, we have Overdrive and Libby. They have an app. From home, you type in your library card number and PIN number and then create an account. Okay, then you can sign in. We have our Lucky Day collection, which means those are books that are usually very popular. We set aside a title or a copy or two for those people that just happen to be at the right time at the right place and there's an availability. Okay, and you can change that. That's for the adults. You can go to the kids section and we're going to have the same your lucky day. Okay, so you have 14 days to read it once you check it out. Okay, so these are the lucky day titles currently today that are available checked out. Again, you can change it to Lexile measurements. Okay, so if I'm looking at 600, 800 within your lucky day collection, those are the ones that are available there. Okay, you can search. So we could search for, say, But Not Buddy again. And it gives you the title. So you can borrow it if it's available, or the audiobook here is checked out, you can place a hold. Okay. The one thing to know about Overdrive is if it's on hold, when your time comes up, they will allow you to skip if you're not ready to do it one time. Otherwise, you need to check it out when it's available and read it within the time frame that you have and then return it. And we ask that if you return it, that gives it available to somebody else because we only have a certain number of copies in Overdrive that are available. Okay, so that's Overdrive. And let me take you back to our website again and look at one additional one for pleasure, which is through our e-library, which is Hoopla. Now, Hoopla is different in that you can have multiple people reading the same copy. There's no limit on the number of copies. And again, they have an app just like Overdrive. Now with Overdrive Libby, if you have an Amazon account, you will have to download their older app called Overdrive and not the Libby app. Okay. Again, you can limit, they have teen reads and then they'll have kids reads along. Okay, a variety of different things. You can browse by title, so ebooks. And then you can search by subject, by title. Okay. So like there they have the Harry Potter is one. Okay, and again, in ebook format and e-audio format. Okay. All right, so that is two of our pleasure readings, and then we have a third one, which I say is kind of hidden. We have library again, and this time we're going to go to research databases, and the one that we're going to look at is ebooks on EBSCOhost. Now this one has, oh, I forgot eKids Reads. So eRead Kids is available for your elementary school age kids up to middle school. Again, this is provided through our state library, GPLS. The titles are selected through librarians through DeKalb County. Similar to Overdrive, you just check them out, download them. You can also place a hold. And this for that age group is probably the first place to look for an ebook reads other than Overdrive. Okay. All right, let's go back to ebooks on EBSCOhost. This is through Galileo, so you would again type in your card number, PIN number to access it from home. You will create an ebook or an account with EBSCOhost to download these, but they have a variety of books. These are not your most popular books, but they are a variety of our smaller publisher type books that are available. And what I usually use the ebooks on EBSCOhost are nonfiction books. Okay, so if you're looking for on a subject that you can't find anything really quickly through us, I would definitely try ebooks on EBSCOhost. Okay, so that's our books section, and we'll be moving on to our next section in just a moment. All right, let's now look at resources for history. So again, we're going to go back to our DeKalb County Public Library website. And the first resource we're going to look at is Gale in Context High School. So to get to that, you're going to go over to the right-hand corner. You're going to click on Research Databases. You're going to scroll down, and the easiest way I find it is to go down all the way to Students section, Student Resources. And we're going to click on Gale in Context in High School. Okay, again, you from home, you type in your library card number and PIN number, and that'll access you to the resource, which is part of Galileo. All right, they have, you can search by search terms or you can browse by subjects. They have vetted information on history, biographies on many people that are studied in high school. And under the advanced search, you can limit by lexile level. You can also sign in, as you can see, from your Google account or your Microsoft account. That will save everything either to your either your Google or Microsoft accounts to gather everything together to be able to write a report. Okay, and you can also highlight and make notes and articles for later use. So let's look at this Gale in Context. So you can browse topics. So let me go back to DeKalb Library to show that where that is real quick. Give me a minute. Computer's a little slow. So again, DeKalbLibrary.org. On the right-hand side, Research Databases. You'll click on that. Scroll down all the way to the bottom to Student Resources. That's the easiest way that I find it. And you're going to click on Gale in High School Content. Gale in Context in High School. Again, you'll put your library card number, PIN number if you're not in the library. And that'll go connect you to Galileo and then directly to Gale in Context. Okay. So here's Gale in Context. So you can browse on topics. So if you click on Browse Topics, it will give you a variety of topics that are searched for. Okay. It'll tell you if it's been updated, if information's been updated. So say, for instance, we're doing something on nuclear weapons. You can click on that. It'll give you an overview on the subject. It'll tell you what type of content it has. So it has 3 featured contents on this subject. How many references, how many videos, academic journals. So it's real easy to go to a subject and then quickly decide on what type of information you need. Click and narrow it down that way. Okay. Again, if you scroll down, you can search within your results. Again, featured content's going to be on the left, reference, and then it kind of divides out, gives you kind of a general overview. Okay, they also have first or primary resources. They have pictures and videos. Everything's been vetted. Okay, and as I said just a minute ago, you can click on highlights and notes, and if you've actually signed into either Google or Microsoft account, they will keep that for you. You can search your history. Okay, so this is a great resource for history. Another 2 that we're going to look at are more geared towards Georgia history. Okay, so again, we're going to go back to DeKalb Library. Now these, you don't necessarily have to get through the library website. It's just the fastest, easiest way to find them. Again, once you get to our homepage, you're going to click on Research Databases. You'll scroll down to our history area. Okay, and the 2 that we're going to look at are Digital Library of Georgia and the New Georgia Encyclopedia. So the Digital Library of Georgia, it's just like it says, it's got digital collection of things pertaining to Georgia, manuscripts, photographs, a lot of primary documents, government documents, newspapers, audio files, video files. The New Georgia Encyclopedia is like your general encyclopedia. It has all that gathered in together into one site. So let's look at Digital Library of Georgia first. Okay. So they've got it broken down by collection, counties, free to use, licensing to reuse. So if you're doing a project, your students will know exactly that they are able to copy any of the videos or any of the pictures in there and have no fear of not being able to use it license free. So they know that it's been vetted and you can use it without having to, of course, you still want to cite it, but you would have it there. And then institutions, different partners that the state of Georgia collects. Now this is done through the state of Georgia and the University of Georgia. Okay, so say for instance, you were excited, you need to do something on DeKalb. There's 7,000 records. You can look at all the records on DeKalb County. Okay, it'll give you who the creator is, by subject, by people, and kind of the things that people are interested in to begin with. Okay, again, giving credit to where it's due. Okay. And then it'll give you, and it also gives you a link to the partner site. If there is a partner site, tells you the format. It's a JPEG. Okay, so this is great if you're looking for digital records for Georgia. Okay, so that's the Digital Library of Georgia. Now the Georgia Encyclopedia is going to give you more of those population statistics, who the Georgia, what the flag looks like, all kinds of stuff like that. Okay, so you have quick facts, there's exhibitions, destinations. So if you're looking to just see different things about Georgia, doing business, and then resources also, there's a blog. So if you click on quick facts, gives you a quick facts of Georgia. Okay, land area, all that kind of stuff that you usually have to do. I believe it's in 8th grade with your history. Gives you the nicknames of Georgia, the Empire State of the South, and Peach State. Okay. Again, it'll give you information about counties and cities. So if you click on counties, go back, and you want to learn a little bit more about DeKalb, you can go down and find that information. Okay, or say for instance, Gwinnett County. Again, it'll give you some information, historical information about that county. It gives you information how to cite that particular article, which is nice for students. And then give you some other topics to look at if you're looking for. Okay. And then the other thing to look at, one other thing I forgot to mention with the Gale resources. I think I have to go back. So Gale and Context, the other nice thing that they offer is educational resources. And so at the bottom of their page, you'll see it says educational resources. Especially for homeschool students or even just regular students. So if you want to learn how to choose a topic, how to write a topics sentence, they have tip sheets, how to make an outline, how to cite. So these are great resources to go to, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you are a teacher or if you're homeschool or a parent and you're not quite sure how they're doing it now, you could go ahead and look. So there's a tip sheet. They also have worksheets depending on the topic. So this is a quick look at the PDF thesis statement. Okay, so it kind of gives you an overview of how it's done, and then kind of walks them through how you would do it. And then it also gives the link to the worksheet right there. All right. And then some of the other book resources that we talked about, again, are great places to find historical information, books on history. That, again, is ebooks. EBSCO, of course, our catalog, and then Overdrive also. All right, so that's our history section. We will now go into languages. All right, so now we're going to look at some language learning resources. The first one is Mango. So you're going to go to DeKalb Library. Share my screen. Okay, so you're going to go to dekalblibrary.org, and then under research databases on the right hand side, you're going to go down to you see languages, language learning, and then you're going to click on Mango languages. So from home, you're going to type in your card number and PIN number, and then you'll go ahead and create an account. So I'm just selected guest so we can kind of look at. So as you can see, there's Spanish, French, English, Japanese, German, Korean, and there's other languages on top of that. They have Irish, pirates. All of these have conversational and grammar goals. You'll need a microphone to speak back during the lessons. Mango can be downloaded as an app from Android or Apple app stores. Okay, so let's just say you're interested in Spanish. So you can see, you can start learning, so that'll log you in. Okay, and then they have introduction. You can listen, you can read, and then they have little quizzes at the end of each lesson. Okay, so that's Mango through Mango Languages. So you can also ebooks on EBSCOhost. Oops. eBooks on EBSCOhost is also another place that has language. Again, to get to that, research databases and go down to books, ebooks on EBSCOhost. They have currently have books on Korean, learning Korean, Spanish, Japanese, French, Latin, and German. And then the other thing that we'll cover in just a few minutes with magazine and newspaper articles is Press Reader. So Press Reader has a variety of magazines in a variety of languages, so you can kind of reinforce if you're trying to read in a language that you're trying to learn. Okay, so that's what we have for learning languages. All right, now let's move on to our magazine and newspaper resources. I will mention if they're more for pleasure or research. For scholarly research, Galileo is the best resource. They have several vendors that provide content. So let's go to Galileo now. Share my screen. Right. So now, first you're going to do is go to dekalblibrary.org, and you will see Galileo on the front page. If that's not there, you can go to research databases. So we're going to click on Galileo. From home, you're going to type in your card number and PIN number, and it will access you to Galileo. Now remember, Galileo is through the state library, and there are a variety of different views. The public library has a separate set of resources versus the public schools versus the public colleges here in Georgia. So you might check both Galileo from your school or Galileo from the public library. As you see, you can choose by level: elementary school, middle school, high school. All right, and that'll limit the sources for that appropriate age range. But since we're going to look at all of those, we're going to click on full view. All right, so you have a search bar here, and this is where you'll search. And then you also have an advanced search bar, which will give you some other ways to limit your search immediately. Okay, so you can search in any field. You can search by author. You can expand and a variety of things. So let's go back to the main. Okay, so let's say we're doing something on a report on COVID. We want some more information. So you can type in COVID. And what's nice about this general searches. It will give you ebooks, it will give you newspaper articles and whatnot. So the first thing you're going to do is you want to go ahead and limit to full text. All right. And then if we're looking for magazine articles, if you scroll down the page on the left-hand side, you'll see newspapers and magazine and journal articles. Okay. And then you'll show more there. Okay, so let's do, let's do news, magazines, academic articles. Okay, and then you can update, and that'll limit the type of things that are in there. Okay, so let's look at an academic journal. So you'll see one will say periodical, that's a standard, just regular periodical. It's not peer reviewed. Academic is of course peer reviewed. You'll see that it has full text or HTML. Okay, and then it gives you different subjects that it's filed under. That's always helpful to kind of broaden or to limit your search. And then you'll see what database it's from. Okay. So if we look at, let's look at Master File Elite. Okay, so let's look at this. So what's nice about Master File Elite is you can sign up for an EBSCO-host. You can sign up for a Galileo sign-in, username and password, and then you can save your documents to Google Drive. You can print them, save them, cite them, export them, create them, note, etc. Okay, you can read it online in the HTML format, or you can download it in PDF format. Okay, it'll tell you images. Okay, and then also what's nice is you can listen to the article too. That gives you a listen option. All right. So that is newspapers, journal articles, and magazine articles in Galileo. Our next resource is going to be Press Reader. So let me. Again, you'll go back to dekalblibrary.org. And right now we're highlighting Press Reader here, but you can also find it under eLibrary. Okay. So Press Reader has over 7,000 newspapers from the United States and around the world, and they also have magazines from around the world. There are 120 countries represented in 60 languages available in the source. There's also an app for Press Reader that you can get. You will need to log in each time to have access, but you can set up your favorite magazine and newspapers to read each month, and it'll be delivered to your account that you signed in. All right, so let's look at that real quickly. So again, here are categories for magazines. So they have Plenty Pleasure. They do have some kid magazines. Not a whole lot. A lot of them are in from foreign countries. So they do have highlights. They have a horse magazine, and then, as I said, several from outside the country. So you can limit by country. You can limit by languages. Categories, which is what we were looking at before. And then they also have a location type, so you can look for magazines or newspapers and limit that way. Okay, they have some back issues, but not a whole lot, and they're not really searchable, right? But as you can see, these are some of the things there. They have the Los Angeles Times, all your major newspapers are there, so you can browse newspapers. And it's great for either pleasure reading or current events. Okay. And then finally, we have access to New York Times for free. You can get New York Times through Press Reader, but you also can get it through the library. So if we go to DeKalb Library again. And under e-library, you have New York Times. It's at the online edition. You just need to go through our website, create an account, and then every time you look at New York Times, it'll tell you that the DeKalb County Public Library is providing that edition for free. All right, next we're going to move on to English and Language Arts. Okay, let's now move on to English and Language Arts. Our first resource is Gale Literature. It works the same way as Gale Context in high school. It contains critical essays on author works and literature periods, information about authors, and finally, for students writing a paper, they have a tool called Topic Finder. You can use a keyword and find a variety of broader or narrower subjects associated with that keyword. And then you can click on either broadening the subject or limiting the subject, and suggested articles appear. So let's take a look at that. Again, you would go from our website, dekalblibrary.org, click on research databases, and then go down to student resources, and then click on Gale Literature. All right, so here's the topic finder that I was talking about. So you click on go to topic finder, and you can say Harlem Renaissance. And then it has tiles. So the broader would be African American. It goes all the way down to you get to terms, old, early work, feminist, young women. So it kind of depends on what you do there. And then you could also do wheel. So I really want Langston Hughes, then do poets, and then it'll give you articles that way. Okay. But the other way to do it is you can do Harlem Road. In the search bar, Harlem Renaissance in the search bar, and again, it'll give you literature criticisms there. You can filter your subjects on the right. Okay. And again, it gives you the when it was written, where it was written from, how many words, whether or not it's a critical essay or if it's an essay or it's an excerpt. It also will give you information and biographies. So there's 183 literature criticisms on Maya Angelou. There's 36 biographies, there's topic and overviews, there's reviews, and then there's primary resources. So this is a great resource to use if you're doing an English paper. Okay, and then as with most school resources, you can send it to Google or Microsoft Office. Okay, so the next resource that we're going to look at is, again, you get through dekalblibrary.org, and then you click on student resources, and we're going to look at Learning Express Library. And it's actually, take that back, it's under test prep. Okay, so from the library, you just click on it. From home, you're going to click on it, type in your card number and PIN number through DeKalb County, and then when you get to the site, you'll create a username and password. Use an email and a password. Okay, so they have different centers, and for us, for English, we're really going to concentrate more on the school center. They also do have college prep, which you can do for SAT and ACT. It's broken down by elementary, middle school, and high school. So we'll look at elementary real quick. It gives you informational reading practice, literature reading practice, writing, and language practice. These are available from 4th grade to through 12th grade, actually through college. And for students, okay, so there's your informational reading practice, literature, and writing for elementary school. When you click on it, again, you just will, and it locked me out. You would just click on informational reading practices and it would give it to you. Let me sign on real quick. Okay, and so it's a test, so you just start the test. Okay, so it's a 15-minute test. Here you have a practice or learner. So learner, the difference between those is learner is as you go through the test and you answer a question, you'll select what you think is the correct answer, and then you can click and it'll tell you whether or not you got it right or wrong. If you got it incorrect, it will tell you what the correct answer is and why. Practice test is if you'll go through all the questions that are on the test, and at the end, you'll click to score it or to grade it, and then it will display the correct answers and the incorrect answers. It will again give you information about why it was not correct and give you the correct answer. Okay. So that's pretty much with English for that. For some of the other subjects, they have ebooks that you can download. What's nice about this site is that it's in PDF form, so when you do download it, you can keep it until you decide to delete it off your device. All right, so the next resource that we're going to look at is Help Now from BrainFuse. Again, on our research database, and it's also in our e-library area. You would just click on Help Now from BrainFuse, and it will come up. Let me go, Again, from the library, log back in. From the library, site, you'll ask you for your library card number and PIN number to take you to the Help Now page, and then you'll create a site using your username and password as a login. Okay, so what they're mainly known for is live tutoring. So you can get live tutoring 7 days a week from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. except for holidays, and that will tell you that along the banner at the top, which is really nice. For English writing lab for your middle school and high school students, if they want to, if they're writing a paper or if any type of writing, they can upload it from the computer. They can write it from the whiteboard and then select it. It will go to teachers that are there. They will look at it and give suggestions. Okay. Now, one thing about the tutors that are available, these are teachers that have been vetted through BrainFuse. They are looked at heavily on how they communicate online and they're teaching online. So they try to get the best teachers that they can to work as tutors. And same thing with all the writing labs. They try to get the people that are qualified. So the next section in BrainFuse is Skill Surfer. And again, they're divided up. Here they divide up elementary school to 2 levels, and then middle school and high school. For English, you'll see reading, pre-K, and it's done by grade. And let's just click on 2nd grade reading real quick. So I'll have a variety of passages in your elementary school level that kids would read on their level. They also have introduction to main ideas and lessons to go with each one, details, facts, and other things that they would be learning on this grade level. What's nice about Help Now from Brainfuse is if they get stuck in any of these tutorials and need assistance, if it's between the time that they have tutors, they can click on Get Live Help. If it's not, they can click Send a Question, and within 24 hours, they will get a response. Okay, and then that same thing goes to middle school and high school. And again, it goes up as far as the amount of information that they give for each one. They also have like high school reading selections so that they can practice reading if they're looking at, especially trying to prepare for the SAT or the ACT. All right, so that's Help Now from Brainfuse. One other thing I wanted to mention real quick, well, there's two things. The other thing that can be used is they have the skill server, as I said. They also have Flashbulb. Flashbulb allows you to do flashcards, and what's nice about it is you can take that same set. So if you're doing, say, for English vocabulary words, and it would have the standard flashcards that you would have, but you can create those flashcards, that same information, and make it into a variety of games, and it's already there, from crossword puzzles to a bug game that they have where you have to eat the answer using the bug, to taking and kind of matching and create a picture when you're done. Those are a great way for students to be able to practice what they're learning in a variety of different learning styles. And then the last thing to talk about with Brainfuse, although it's not English related, it is high school related. Under Expert Help, if you click on Featured Service, they have live FAFSA help. So for those students that are filling out with their parents, or their parents are filling out FAFSA application, you can get experts to help with application questions and get live help at that particular time. Or you can, and it'll tell you the schedule that they have. Help Now is available from Monday to Thursday, 2 to 11. And that's because we're in the summer session. During the school year there, it's Monday, 7 days a week. All right, so that is it for English subjects. So now let's talk about the subject of math. We'll talk about several of the same sort of resources that I've talked about before that you can see available. Again, eBooks on EBSCO has a variety of eBooks on math subjects. Help Now has a variety of resources, same as it did for English with Brainfuse. That's a good one. And then under Skill Server, you'll find math by grades starting with 3rd grade going up to 12th grade. So let me show that real quick. Share my screen. Sorry, share. Okay, so under Skills Share, let's look at middle school math. Grade 6 math. And then you'll see there's practice tests. And then there's on a variety of different subjects that are covered during middle school ratio, the number system. There are a variety of tutorials there that walk you through. And again, same thing with English. If a student is working through these tutorials and they don't understand something, they can get live help or they can send a question. Okay. They also have some videos that you can look at that have already been done, so multiplying decimals. Okay, so that'll walk you through with videos. Okay, and then Learning Express Library has a lot of help with math. For the example, they have number and operation practice, geometry practice, measurements, It's that data practice, algebra practice. And again, just to refresh, you would go to the library's website, click on research databases, go down to student resources and click, go down to test prep and click on Learning Express Library. And then under the school center, you would select the level. So let's say elementary. Okay, and there you see geometry practice, measurement practice, operationals practice. Okay, and again, it's practice. You start, they call it a test, but you walk through kind of practicing in a test format. Again, you have a learner, which means as you go along and answer the questions, it automatically tell you whether or not you got it right or wrong. And under regular practice, you finish the test at the end, it'll grade you. All right. And then they have a few books on math too. So if we typed in, say, algebra is a good one that I know they have. So they have basically algebra level 1. You can do by search, but they do have, I don't see the test. They do have books on a variety of math subjects too. All right. So for social studies, we're going to stick with Learning Express Library. That offers probably the most, other than there is some on BrainFuse. So for middle school and high school for social studies, it offers American history practice, civics, and geography practice. And then there are a few ebooks on that. So again, let's go back to the school center. And you'll see social studies, okay, and then American history practice. And it's set up the same way. They'll have reviews, and so the reviews set off questions, and again, you have the learning and practice, where learning is going to give you the answer right after you answer it. Learning, the practice is going to give it at the end. Okay, so that gives you practice for a variety of those things. And same thing with the high school. And then BrainFuse. Let's go back and hit off, click BrainFuse. Help now from BrainFuse. Again, under Skilled Surfer, if you click on middle school, it's going to give you social studies. So they cover U.S. history, civics, world history, economics, and geography. Okay. Okay, then they have links, and again, tutorials. I don't think they have any videos on these. Those are mainly going to be in the math area. And finally, a resource that we haven't picked up yet, again, going through our homepage, decaplibrary.org, clicking on research databases. Again, going down to student resources, we're going to look at Galen context opposing viewpoints. So for those students that are looking to write a paper or getting information on a variety of subjects that have pros and cons, such as gun violence, this is a great resource. So if you type in, let's just do, I mentioned gun violence, or let's do gun control. Again, it will give you overview. It gives you featured viewpoints. They typically will have positives and negatives, pros and cons. They'll have statistics if it's available, references, biographies if there's available, videos, academic journals, and then they also have infographics. Okay. So you just would go down to infographics if you're interested in finding that. And again, the student, if they have a Google Drive or a Microsoft account, can send to that so that they can gather their research all at one place. Okay. And that is it for social studies. So now we're going to look at the sciences. Okay. So the two main resources besides our book resources that we talked about, and the book resources, of course, are our own print resources that we have. Electronic ebooks on EBSCOhost is a good resource to look at for science books. And then Learning Express Library and has chemistry, biology, and earth science practice for middle school and high school. And then Help Down for Brain Fuse is another one. So let's go over real quickly. Let's just go look at Learning Express Library. Again, you go from our research databases, scroll down till you get to student or to test, and then click on Learning Express Library. Again, typing in your card number and PIN number, creating an account using the username, email address, and a password. And then it's divided by centers. You're going to go down to school center. And then we're going to look at elementary real quick. Elementary does not have science. I believe it's only covered in high school. Is that right? Yes. So science is only for high school for Learning Express Library. And as I said, they have biology practice, chemistry practice. And again, set up just like all their things. They do have one ebook on biology in success 20 days. Actually, that's all they have. So they have ebooks that they can download and kind of practice with for Learning Express Library to have some interaction. Help Now from Brain Fuse is where you'll want to go. Again, going to Skill Surfer. Okay. Elementary school, upper elementary, third grade, and first, second grade. So every grade has some science built into it. Typically, they're going to have prep packs. So it's going to take you to one of their other sites that will kind of walk you through. It's again been vetted and will give you a variety of things to practice and go through and learn. Okay, so that's a great thing to look at. They also have flashcards and that's all on that other site. Okay. So that's the prep packs, but they also do have a variety of tutorials that you can walk through. Right, and that's going to be the same thing for middle school, high school, and elementaries. And that's pretty much what we have for science. So the last few things that we're going to look at are more resources that are worth checking out, but really don't fit in any specific school category. The first one is LinkedIn.com, which is a great resource for other interests besides schoolwork. They do have some things for schoolwork. They have some SAT, ACT prep. There's a variety of courses on music, art, technology, computer software, marketing, video creation, and editing. You do need a library card, DeKalb County Public Library card to access this resource. Let's take a real quick look at it. Again, going to our homepage, DeKalbLibrary.org. You can get this under e-library. No, under research databases. So I usually check e-library real quick because those are real quick links. But if you can't find it, research databases is the place to go. Again, I believe we have it in, yes, we do have it in the student resources. So you're gonna click on lynda.com. It'll ask you for your library card number and PIN number. Oh, there we go. All right, you can set goals and whatnot. So as I said, they do have some math videos, but they're going to be not necessarily geared towards kids. But for those that are interested in computer science, there's language learning. If they wanted drawing, cartoon drawing, there's whole courses that they can do. So a fun resource, not necessarily a school resource, but sometimes it's worth looking at to seeing if it might be something that your student might be interested in doing. Okay, and then our last resource that we're going to talk about is a high school resource, and it is Adulting 101. So it can be found on our team page. I'm sorry, it can be found on our research database page under student resources. It's the first one, Adulting 101. And these are skill sets that many high school students are needing to know some information about. They are linked many to videos, but these have all been vetted by librarians here at DeKalb County Public Library. We have civics, health and wellness, money, life skills, social skills, and work. So let's just take a quick look at work. There's finding your purpose, taking the step, jobs and internships. Where we have books, we give suggestions on books and where they're at, as well as links to videos that we have vetted, and then online resources that we kind of have vetted and put in that. So that's a great thing for your middle school and high school students. All right, our time together has come to a conclusion. This presentation is no more inclusive on everything that we have for resources for schoolwork, but it is a good overview. And we covered a lot of resources, and I showed you generally what they hold and how they work. If you need more help with that, you can certainly book a librarian session, which is on our website. There is one for teens on the teen site, and in the main site, there is one for adults. You can certainly contact your local branch or go in and ask some questions. And again, I want to remind you at the bottom of this recording, there are 2 documents that will be helpful for you. They are broken down by resources by subject. All of our resources under each subject. So history, it lists all the resources that we have for history, English, etc., and then by grade. And that's broken down by elementary, middle, and high school. All right. Have a good day.